Hi everyone and welcome to that new video. Today we are going to talk about data types. JavaScript variables can contain many types of data, numbers, strings, objects and more. In programming, data types are an important concept, and in order to operate on variables, it is important to know something about the type. For example, without data types, a computer cannot solve this problem. Can I add a number to a string? Let's make some example. On your left, you see that script, and we have on the first line, the line number 15, a variable we declare and we assign on the same line to the number 12. So that should be a number. Then we do the same with the last name. So we have the string red, then we have the object variable x, and we say that is equal to the object that has a name, Mary, and the last name, red. We have number, string, object. Let's say what that console log is producing in our analyze element and then console. So as expected, we have 12 red and the object as it is. But let's go on and make some other example to answer to the question, can I add a number to a string? We have that commented part, we uncomment with Shift Alt A, that's at least with MacBook. So we have a multiple variable declaration, x, length and brand name. Length is 12 as before, brand name is Apple and is of course a string, and then we have a sum between the two variables. We console log them, we save, maybe you can just comment that just to avoid confusion, we save and we console log and we have Apple 12. Pretty explanatory, is a concatenation, so we have Apple, that is brand name, that is here, and then we have length, that is 12. So just a concatenation. What's going to happen if we try to mix the data? Let's save that variable y equal to 32 plus hello. What you expect to see is, yes, a concatenation, just in the opposite direction, but just following the way the variable has been assigned. In the third example, in that script, we have a variable z, length plus brand name, and then the declaration of variable j that is not assigned. It is declared but not assigned. So we have 12, Apple, and then undefined because we have j. Of course, if we assign j to something, I don't know, 44, and we save, of course we are going to have 12 Apple 44. Nothing really to have doubt about, just to clarify that we can concatenate numbers and strings. Now we comment that, so we have a cleaner log later. Save and we go on with our examples. Here we have another script where we declare variable f that now in that precise moment variable f is undefined. So what's going to happen if we console log f alone? We have undefined. But then we are going on and we assign that to number 5. Momentarily we keep a shutdown the following one, we save and we refresh the console log. So now is a number. It used to be undefined, then it became a number. And then last step, we assign to f a string that in that case is mark. We save it we refresh console log and we have undefined number and string. As you see, it's processing in order from the top to the bottom. Again, we comment that, so we have a more clean console log later. And we go to see Booleans values. Booleans has that characteristic that could be only true or false. Nothing in the middle. No gray area there. So let's uncomment that. Let's do manually. So we have variable x declaration, and on the same line we assign equal for y and z. Then we have x equal y. In that case it's true because you see 5 is equal to 5, so should return true. Let's save it and refresh the page. So we have the console log of y, which is 5. Then we have the console log of z, which is 6. And then we have the console log of x equal z. X and z are different because they are 5 and 6, that is false. And we end with the console log of x equal y, that is true. Also here, pretty straightforward. I invite you to play with those numbers. Of course, what happens if I put 5 here and save? It's obvious, go through true. And what's happened if I instead put 6 here and I save? Of course, is the opposite of what was before. Okay, I comment that, I save and I refresh. We go to see that part about numbers. We have a variable x1 and we have 22.00 with decimals, and then we have x2 without decimals. We save and we console log both, and you see that JavaScript is not console logging decimals. And what's happened if we have them? For example, we have like 22.12, we save, we can see that. Just not printing 0, 0. That's some kind of optimization, you see, not seeing 0, 0. Let's comment that again, save, refresh. Let's go on. Arrays. That's a very important topic. Arrays are written in square bracket and are separated by commas. We declare a menu containing 3 elements. That's an example of what an array can do. And let's save and let's see how show up. We haven't defined. Okay, we have lost in translation here, and we have an array with pizza, pasta and risotto. Pretty self-explanatory. That's as simple could look. Now that's very important concept, something we are going to work a lot in the future if you are really interested in JavaScript. But it's important to keep in mind that it's one of the data types that you're going to interact with. Okay, let's comment that again, we save it, and we go on. Here we have something slightly different, just to summarize a little bit what we have seen before. We uncomment manually. We have, for example, a variable a 5 plus 5. We concatenate that elements, and let's go. In that case, we are going to show data inside of the document, as you see in the lower right corner. So we have same variable declaration, then we concatenate them, And then we want to know one by one what kind of data type are. For example, guess that type is going to be number, and that is 10, the really some number. For B is a string plus a number, but a string is some kind, look like a number, but it's not. So what JavaScript does, concatenate it and make looks like 105. Then we have variable C, and we have a 5 plus a string plus 5. The point is that summing that is 5 plus 5 is still a number. Then arrive here and say, okay, no, not a number anymore, so we have 10, and we concatenate it, so it makes 10, 10, and then like concatenating. So it's the third one and are a string, the second and the third one are a string. Because once it became a string, it can change back. Same for hello plus 5, that is hello 5, and still a string. I hope that the last example is not creating more confusion, but clarifying some element about how concatenation and sum works in JavaScript. Thank you for your attention. Just get your hands dirty with the example we made together and try to change them and to find your own way to remember that. Thank you for your attention and see you to the next video.